Hey everybody, my name is Elisa Covington, and today I'm going to show you this long-term rental house flip we just acquired. When you hear long-term rental, immediately you know that the house is going to need a lot of TLC, and that's exactly the case here. As usual, make sure you stay until the very end because we're going to review the house flip numbers. The front yard is exactly what you would expect on a rental property. The grass is dry and dead, and it looks very unkept. The only good thing about this front yard is this magnolia tree, which gives the front yard some dimension. The tree behind it is a maple tree, which I really like because of how pretty it is, but unfortunately this tree is very close to the house, and you can see a lot of branches are over the roof, which makes it very hard to keep the roof clean and maintain the house. So we're still thinking about it, but most likely we're going to have to remove it, unfortunately. The house exterior looks very bland with this white stucco look and the bricks, so it's desperately needing a fresh coat of paint. On top of that, we're also going to replace the single pane windows, the dated front door, and the garage door. So hopefully that's going to freshen up the entire look. So we're in the middle of the summer and there's still Christmas lights hanging off of the roof. And as you get closer to the entrance, there are actually spiders from the ceiling. So it's really gross, and you can tell that the house hasn't been maintained for a very long time. And that's where we come in. So now is the time to check out the interior. This entryway is very wide and spacious. There's a small coat closet that's missing a door, and the ceiling light is old school and very dim. So on your right side are the bedrooms and bathrooms. Straight ahead is the living room, and on your left is the kitchen. So we're going to replace the ceiling light, repaint the interior, and also refinish this pretty decent hardwood floor. This living room is so dark because the walls are painted this deep green color. I'm really not very impressed by this paint job. Even though I don't have any painting experience, I feel like I could easily have done a better job. There are recessed lights in the ceiling, which is unusual, but unfortunately, these lights are placed very randomly and we would have to redo them. The focal point is the fireplace. Because of the dark wall color and the black mantle, it really doesn't show any contrast. I don't think we have to redo it, probably just some new paint. And then the flooring is still this nice original hardwood floor that can be refinished. It's kind of odd that there's a patch in the middle of the room that looks like someone already started with the sanding process, but we have to redo the entire room or pretty much the entire house. But I think after we refinish it, it's going to look very beautiful. The dining room has this bright orange paint, and it looks kind of odd, especially because of the stark contrast between the deep green and this new color. There are also two pendant lights, which looks a little weird, and they don't seem like the kind of light that you put in the dining room. There is a small glass door leading to the backyard, which is nice. And on the other side, there's a narrow doorway that goes into the kitchen. We're going to try to expand this doorway a little bit to improve the flow. To learn to flip a dilapidated home like this one, check out my coaching program, Transform Flipper Academy. I teach my students the ins and outs about house flipping so they can avoid mistakes and mitigate risks. And many of my students have already completed the first couple of flips and made a six-figure income. Check out our website, transformflipperacademy.com. After seeing the two large spaces, we get to this very cramped kitchen. The cabinets are extremely old, and it's probably done by a handyman because the doorknobs don't even align. And the countertops are falling apart. The laminate is peeling off. Everything has to go here, including the recessed lights that's also randomly placed and the linoleum floor. A challenge we have here is this very small space that we have for the kitchen with the fridge right in the middle and the stove just stand alone on this side. Because there's a door going to the garage that's really interrupting the flow. So an idea I have is to relocate the door to the garage, maybe to this casual dining space. So I really want to expand the kitchen into this area because this is not very useful. But because of the corner here, the kitchen's not going to look very nice even after we do that. So we're going to have to figure out a plan to tackle this. If you have any ideas, drop me a comment below. Other things we have to change in this kitchen include new recessed lights or pendant light, remove the scallop-shaped traditional trim, repaint the interior. This is a lilac color, so it seems like the previous tenant really enjoyed very dramatic paint colors. And the paint color doesn't really match this geometric linoleum floors, so we definitely want to fix that. You can see the baseboards are also coming off of the wall, and there's a lot of work to be done before we can restore this kitchen. The first bedroom has this dramatic navy blue color accent wall and already some recessed lights in, so we just have to replace them. But the walls are very dirty and the floors has a lot of damages to it, so we need to restore these. An interesting thing is there's a closet right here, but then next to it has some empty space with shelves on there. So we probably can easily expand the closet all the way to the other wall so that we can have more storage space and this wouldn't look so odd. We have navy color going all the way from that room into this bathroom, and there's light pink tiles on the bottom, so it's a kind of an interesting contrast. The wall texture is pretty rough, so we have to fix that. And then the layout here is horrendous too. There's a tiny shower towards the entrance and then a tub right next to it, and then the toilet immediately run into when you enter the bathroom. And then the sink is of a good size, but it's really gross in there. So is the mirror, and this wall sconce is of a very unique style, but it's all rusted. So nothing in here can be salvaged, and we also have to really work on the layout. This second bedroom is the first room that's without any color. The closet in here is actually huge. So it's actually much larger than standard closet size, which is nice. And then the windows here are already double pane, so we don't have to replace them. But we do need to replace all the recessed lights and refinish the hardwood floors. But one good thing is in this house, all the interior doors are of the same style, and this style is actually coming back, so we can keep these interior doors. The primary bedroom is painted this forest green color. It has very nice hardwood floors too, but the style is a little different. We're going to try to refinish it, and we may have to replace it to match the style with the rest of the house. But the closet here is huge, which would be a nice selling feature, but the closet door would have to be replaced to match the other 3 panel doors. The primary bathroom is painted black on the top with white tiles on the bottom. I was just told that this is a Star Wars symbol, so you can tell that the previous tenant really was a fan. And then you also see some stained glass light bulbs that are pretty cool, but all the finishes here are outdated, and the shower faucet is actually still leaking and the shower pan is filthy. So we definitely need to gut everything. I immediately also noticed that the shower tiles are done very poorly. The grout doesn't really align, so there's nothing really worth saving, so we have to gut everything. But the layout is pretty straightforward, which is a small vanity, toilet, and shower in the end, so we don't have to relocate anything. There are two accesses to this backyard. One is from the dining room and the other is from the hallway next to the primary bedroom. So the backyard itself is kind of depressing. It's very dark here because of the awnings, and then there's not really much to see in terms of landscaping. So we probably want to remove the awning and also level the ground in the back so we can put some sod and other outdoor entertainment in the back. The bushes are overgrowing so much, and there's actually more space towards the other side that can also be utilized. So after we finish it, I think the backyard will look a lot bigger and way more enjoyable.
This is my favorite type of house flip, a neglected home in a highly desired neighborhood. The layout is already semi-open, which keeps our scope at a minimum. The kitchen is so essential and can make or break a home. I hope our plan of transformation will be sufficient. The bedrooms are easy peasy with just cosmetic upgrades needed. The guest bath layout is not ideal, but we can still probably make it work without having to relocate everything. Overall, it's one of the more straightforward flips, and I can't wait to show you our magic. Stay tuned for the numbers.
Now let's get to the numbers. I purchased this flip for $2.2 million, and we plan to put about $200,000 into the renovation, and the after repair value is estimated to be $3 million. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Christmas lights hanging on the
That's the roof.
hanging off of the roof. The after repair value is estimated to be around around $2 million.